Good evening, everyone, and thank you for joining us. I know this weekend we had a little, not on Monday, it was a long weekend, so we're recording for a Tuesday, and for the week, at least couple of points. I would like that we will stay, whoever is interested, to stay in touch with this wisdom or this week's energy. It's important to keep escalating, grow your spiritual path. In this week, right, as we learn, we have few gifts that we want to connect to, and the gifts comes in form of secrets. That obviously, few of the concepts that we study is something that is innately very clear for all of us. That's our purpose in life. And few of the things are not so clear because of our spiritual progression is taking longer, or we staying too long, with the negativity. That's part of the limitation we have when we falling into a swamp, right, or a mud, that I like to call it. My teacher used to call it. Is sometimes we stay in too long, and eventually it get dry on us and it become part of us. Like when you have a stain on a car, or something on a car, or let's say the bird dropped on your car, and then you don't clean it right away. Eventually, even when you remove it, it still keeps staining and damaging the color, the paint. So then you need even more harder material. So this is the same thing spiritually. When we let ourselves engage with the wrong environment for too long, when we don't really get the message much faster, or the lessons much deeper, and you sit with that too long, eventually it stained you. And eventually next time, next relationship, next business, next venture, you're gonna come on it stained and in a way limited. So this week, the instruction, the majority of this week speaks about the gift of Aaron the priest, which is the brother of Moses, that he been given to do the most important job, right? Historically speaking. What was it? There was a candelabra. The candelabra represented, it was those candles that they light in the temple. And there was instructions of how to build that candelabra, right? Specific instruction. And they're known to be that only the highest level of a person can obviously light that. And it spoke about Moses. Why Moses wasn't doing it, right? Because he was at that time the highest, right? But of course, there's a certain type of energy that can be connected to that. Let's understand, because we're not talking about Aaron, and we don't have a candelabra, and we are not in the desert or in the temple. So how is it related to my life? Very important. Because Aaron represents Aaron the priest. Aaron HaKohen, the high priest, was Aaron HaKohen, which we all have that aspect within us. And it's not on a regular base. It's occasionally you get to use your higher channel into this world. It's not all the time, because it's very hard to maintain relationship to that channel. So few understanding about it. This week's call, Be'alotcha, when you elevate, right? But it says Be'alotcha et hanerot, when you elevate the candles. It's wrong. It says when you light the candles. He says, why Be'alotcha? Why when you elevate? Yeah, you can, in an expensive way or luxury, type of conversation. Yes, we elevate the light. Here, we're talking about the story that meant to be clear instruction. So if it were clear instruction, take a fire and turn on the candles, right? Light the candles. Why it says to elevate the candles. Because it's clearly nothing to do with the physical appearance of things. And that's like, eventually, most of us, I hope, I don't like the word hope, but I believe that without pain and suffering, we all gonna get to a place where we start understanding that we got the instructions of what to do. We don't have to invent the wheel. It's all written. Thousands of years is known. So again, all these new things, or even the big thing right now is when the quantum computer will adapt to AI and blah blah blah. It's known. We are the quantum computer. We are the ChatGPT. It's us. All this world is the world of illusion. All the stories that we hear outside of us, it's that part of the illusion that we're giving so much importance. I came up with the idea of this, and I came up with this, and this is my company and my IPO and blah blah blah. Let's get the message that was clear for thousands of years. That's why for me, when I start studying Kabbalah, I realized, what am I going to invent the wheel? It's all written. For thousands of years it's known. Why do I need to go it's like somebody have a headache and he goes and studies 7, 8 years or 9 years to be a doctor so he can solve his headache. Why? It's already there. Get some medication, 24-hour relief, and you're gone. Right? It's all written. So obviously that's part that is dragging this world into a more painful way of existence, as opposed to a smart, obviously uncomfortable in the beginning, but a very smart and directed way of how all of us can be elevating this world. Because that's the message. It's never about lighting a candle or a candelabra. A candelabra is a structure of who we are. If you look at a candelabra, there's the one in the middle and there's like 7, right? So each one of us body is that candelabra. And we need protection for our body as well. And protection for our soul. And how you protecting? Ba'alutcha, when you elevate the candle. Now let's understand what it means. Because if you read it literally, right, you're probably gonna miss the point. But if you understand the Kabbalistic way of seeing things, when it says be'alotcha, it's the same word as ba'alutcha, which means, you even hear it the same, it's in your possession. Be'alutcha meaning it's in your possession, it's under your name. The ownership. Ba'alut is ownership. It's your ownership, this world. This physical reality is you are the owner. But what happened, let's say you are owner of a house or you're owner of a property and you're not really responsible of what's going on there and you're not taking care of it and you're doing things that illegal there. Eventually the government will come and take it, seize it from you. Yeah, I own it. No longer. Because it's been used for idol worshipping, blah blah blah. It's been used for bad things, or we taken away. This world is as a birthright given to us to own. Only when we start elevating ourselves to the consciousness that we own, it's our ownership. It's our birthright, this reality. Then, how? La'alot et hanerot, to elevate the candles. What candles represent? Light. Meaning elevating, first of all, I'm the owner of this reality. It's in my responsibility. Second is, if I don't elevate, first of all, myself, that's the idea, I cannot be taking the ownership that is been given to me. So, as a given, Every single day I need to wake up to a reality that tells me, hey, don't do anything besides take ownership on this world. Every day you have to wake up like that. So now it says that I need to light a candle. It says "Le'amod mul pnei hamenorah," and Aaron was standing in front of the candles. Every single day, you have to understand, you wake up and you're staring at the light. What do you mean the light? I don't experience light. I experience a knowingness of my partner or my employee didn't show up. I'm so annoyed. I pick up the phone and nobody texts me from last night how great was my dinner. Or I'm so annoyed by these people who are, are disrespectful for this, or people who destroy the world, or the president, or the politics. First of all, we have to remember, El mul pnei menorah, I'm standing every day in front of the light. And the light doesn't look like the light, because when you stare directly at the sun, you always experience blindness. So every time I'm opening my eyes in the morning or throughout the day and I'm experiencing difficulties here, difficulties there, I'm staring at the light. But I'm experiencing darkness. Why? Because if I understand it's been given to me today for my own benefit, for my own experience, for my own elevation, then, as it says, as ya'iru shivat hanerot, then the 7 candles are bright and shine. So this is the first indication where we understand it's in my ownership. So from today, you wake up in the morning and you see something that is translated as darkness, annoyingness, difficulty, I don't know, doubt and all of this. I'm standing in front of the candelabra and it's lit. And all what I'm experiencing is darkness. No. It's because I don't understand it. This darkness is for my benefit. It's for my increase of consciousness. It's for the sake of me overcoming and learning a lesson. Then, Ya'iru Shivat HaNerot, the 7 candles are shining. There was instruction that it says to build that candelabra from one solid gold. Meaning, so if you take, there are 7 wings, you say you can make them separately and then melt them together. It has to be molded together. So I'm speaking about in the last few weeks about creating a mold, right, for our vessel. But really, there's one mold that you can create. Mold, which means a structure where a vessel can be created. What does it mean? It has to be made by one solid gold, right? To indicate, are you solid? Are you a solid person? Can you be trusted? Can you be consistent? Or are you a constant? Or there's break in how you do things? Is your spiritual work is constantly growing, is constantly continuing, or is already flatline? Or is break and start and break and start? You know, like when you're standing in front of a, let's say it's cold in the evening and you have a bonfire, right? As soon as you get close to the bonfire, you feel like, oh, I'm so warm, it's so warm here, it's so warm here. You move 2 minutes away. 1 minute. You move 10 meters, 10 inches or 10 foot away. It's cold. What happened? Oh, over there it's hot. Of course, if you are not consistent and if you're not constant in your progression, right? What happened? The consistency also makes you warm or cold. If it's not that consistent, right? Or even, let's say, even if you paint, let's say you paint your room, you want the paint to be consistent, right? As opposed to I have a version of white over here. He's a little bit blue, a little bit purple, right? Obviously, people right away paying attention to that. Again, I'm not saying it's beautiful or not beautiful, but I'm saying is that in everything in life, you have to ask yourself today, am I constant? Am I consistent in my connection? And am I solid individual? Very important. Before you asking people to, can I trust them? Or they are this, or they are that. Can you be trusted? Are you consistent? Then, again, many people will answer, of course I am, when you want that. Or when you think you are. Because we are, it's like imagine somebody go to the gym for 6 years. You says, oh wow, very consistent, right? No. Because if they go to the gym and do the same 10 pounds all the time, it's not consistent, meaning it's a flat line. It's the place you show up to, but you don't really grow or manifest anything with that. So obviously, this is a very important aspect of who we are and how we take responsibility on the world, and obviously ownership to what's going on. Then another element of our spiritual consistent is the idea of why Aaron was chosen from the priest to light the candle. And many commentators speaks about it, that Aaron lo shina. He didn't change. But Benjamin, you said we need to change all the time. We have to change. Yes. We constantly want to work on change and transformation. But what we're talking here is that idea that most of us change right away when we don't get or we get what we want. That's the problem. What does it mean? For example, have you ever had interaction with someone that let's say there was a thing to do or a party or an event of sort, and someone got hurt. So you say, oh, let them enter for free because they got hurt and we forgot them. Or you let somebody do something because they feel bad for what happened, or you're trying to compensate someone that last time could not get a ticket and now you're compensating them. How many of us, and you call it customer service, but you really don't want the person to be upset with you, right? A lot of people doing it because of a customer service, not because they care to serve, right? Because if I care to serve somebody, I will not give it to them because it's not good for their ego, right? But in business, in events, or let's say somebody have a bad experience, so you're trying to compensate them. But what happened, right? This is what we've done, and we're doing it to our kids as well, right? So you have kids, and someone feel bad, so you say, okay, take the candy, and everybody else, well, why didn't we get the candy? He says, yeah, they feel bad, and they got hurt, so give them the candy, and they will feel better, you feeling okay. What does he does to a child growing up like that? Every time somebody's a victim, give him a candy. And that's what we learn. Today, we playing that game of victim. Oh, if I'm playing a victim, so everybody will serve me. If I tell people I feel bad and I'm sad, people will start, take me out and calling me and checking on me. Or if I tell people I'm so successful, I made money, people will start chasing after me and they get something. It's either way. And what happened with Aaron? And this is the gift that we want this week. He got to do the most important job in the world. And he didn't phase out of his place where and what he is. He never really, again, that's his challenge, because right away, if the Creator give me to do something very important, so what does it mean for anybody else? I'm more important than my brother Moses. And he didn't change. There was a test, right? Most of us, let's say, if you have a manager in your work and you brought better result than your manager, right? Or let's say you close a deal way more than any of the managers in the company closed before. What would you think? You know, my managers need to learn from me, right? Or like I'm already like having a peacock experience, right? I'm like feeling like already a little bit better, right? That's the problem that gets people to fall down again. Or, yeah, I'm already successful. Let me open my own business. They go and open their own business. Boom, collapse. Oh, I see I can do better. My business is like a very much, you know, I'm done with this. You know, I want to move to the next. You go to the next, boom, crash. You know, person in a relationship is not happy. All of a sudden, a few people giving them attention. It's like, oh yeah, I don't get the attention at home. So let me go outside. Let me go to my friends or with other people. And they think, oh, I don't need it. Right? I don't need this relationship because it's just bothering me. It doesn't serve me, right? So they go to something else because they give them more attention. And then the same situation is over there. First, when you are successful, I want you to observe your changes, how you think about yourself all of a sudden, how you look down to people, how people's opinion is not important right now. And when you're not so good, everything is important, everything is matter, right? So you have to look what makes you change your behavior, your attitude, your energy, your direction based on, oh, they like me this way, so let me be this way. Or I start studying Kabbalah and somebody tells me, no, you know, it's the same thing, or la 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 la, all kind of reasons. Like, yeah, they like me more this way. Or even you come to study because they told me. Make sure it's your own. Make sure you're connected to it. Make sure you not do things or change things because others. That's the most important part. So now, you know, we have technology that guys go ballistic on this world. So now I'm using that technology, so I'm smarter now, right? So now I feel like, oh wow, you know, I'm like those people. It's this not changing you or makes you better or make you worse. Don't let anything change you externally. That's the test. So, you know, many of us get recognition flying so high you can't even catch that person, right? It's so hard to get them down. Get down of your, you know, from this cloud. Anyway, this is another thing that is being tested all year long. When you get or when you don't, how you change. This is the gift we want from this world. This is the gift that we want to activate for ourselves. Just one last thing that it's important to awaken for us is that again the idea of, you know, the Israelite had what we call the cloud. There was a cloud that traveled with them. Anytime the cloud was moving, they had to pack up and start moving. We're going to speak about it in the next couple of weeks, that idea of traveling. Because, you know, what is that idea of the cloud? It's interesting enough today that everything today is in the cloud, you know. And if I need to extract any information, it's in the cloud. And if I need more protection, is to protect my cloud, my information in the cloud, right? But remember, all the information and all the intelligence that exists in the world, it's inserted and been given to you in a cloud that is traveling with you all the time. You don't store it over here. Over here, the brain is a receiver, is a mechanism. But if your cloud, obviously you have to pay the services, meaning in spiritual term we call it, you have to earn the connection, right? And we're going to speak more about it in different classes, but it's not the time right now. But to understand that I'm not coming to this world as an owner, right? Ba'alutcha, which is I own this world, And there is no intelligence has been given to me? Of course. All the intelligence of this world, what you see today with technology, with quantum computers and all of that, this is what we've been given at birth. It's in a cloud. And in that cloud travel all the time, wherever I'm traveling. So why can't I extract the information? So imagine you have an iCloud and you forgot the password, right? Because it was on automatic. Now, whatever you change the phone, you need to put a new password. Oh, I forgot. How do I do it? So I need to re-establish a connection. And that is every single day. You need to log into the cloud and ask the cloud, where should I go? What happened? When they travel, when the clouds stop, they stop. The Israelites stop in the desert, which indicate where they need to learn a lesson. It's not the class for now, but the idea of the cloud right now. Mishmin. Here. What does it mean when that cloud is stopped or when it's traveling? Again, as I said before, when is move on, they needed to go and move on to the next section, to the next step, to the next lessons. When it stops, there is a lesson to be learned over there, right? So sometime in life we're moving from one relationship to another or from a place, sometimes we feel stuck for a year or two. It's because we have not extracted the lesson. Why? Because the information stored in the cloud. If you're not making the connection, you will not know why you need to travel from one place to another or why you need to be parking right now for a year or 2 or 5. So one of the things that we want to be able to awaken. Where is it? Give me a second. So, if you wake up every day and you realize that I wake up every day, I'm standing in front of the candelabra. What is the candelabra? My light for today, right? El mul pnei menorah. I'm standing in front of the candelabra, as the Kabbalah says. And what I need to do is light the candles. How do I light the candle? Very simple. If you think that the light is on, what will happen? I don't need to go and turn it on. It's the light's on. What's bother? This is how each one of us wake up in the morning. Especially if you, let's say you got success yesterday. You wake up in the morning, you're still riding on the success of yesterday, right? But if yesterday the deal wasn't closed, all what you're doing today is to get up and close the deal. And it wasn't closed. You wake up in the morning, until I don't close the deal, I don't stop. Everybody's saying that. But what happened after you close the deal? Oh, let me tell you, no, I don't feel the same pressure. I don't have the same stress until the next deal, right? I need to realize every single day I wake up to the darkness. I need to turn on the light. I need to turn on the light in my life every single day. By how? By la'alot. To elevate my consciousness more and more. To connect. Many people waking up in the morning and like, I'm waiting for somebody to call me, somebody to text me, somebody to welcome me, somebody to invite me, expectation of that. No. Wake up in the morning, I'm looking for where I can make more connections, where I can unite people, where I can bring more love, where I can be more creative. Always find another level, another way. Where can I be more consistent? Where can I take the next level of my workout or my spiritual path? So, this is about that week. And it's very simple structure. But hopefully, we're all going to awaken for ourselves be'alotcha. First of all, be owner. Take ownership on this world, and know that everything that you need, you will need. It's in a cloud, chasing after you every single day. Where you go, where you park, when you stand, it's there, right? Exactly. Anytime you need it, the information is there. But I need to create a connection to that cloud, and that is how I create it. Be consistent, be constant in your growth, in your trajectory. Be a solid individual, right? And obviously increase your capacity more and more every single day. So thank you, and have a beautiful rest of the week. And I'll talk to you soon. Thank you.